And we're live.
Live.
Just kidding. Not live again.
Live for us.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm alive right now.
And I'm K.
And I'm Cory. And this is the SCP podcast titled Redacted.
It's right there on the sign.
That's actually what it's called. We didn't redact the title. The title is bracket redacted bracket. So let's get this thing going.
Right.
Cute but deadly SCPs.
There's a lot of them.
What are they? We're going to find out. So you brought some of your own and I brought some of mine.
Yeah.
So we can just get right into it. You want to start with yours? What's your favorite cute but deadly SCP?
Favorite cute but deadly SCP. So I love dogs. You love dogs. We both have dogs.
I have a dog.
You have a dog. I have dogs.
It's true. I do have a dog.
There's multiple dog SCPs.
Right.
But possibly the cutest of them is Patches, which if I look at my notes,
Patches O'Houlihan.
Yeah, Patches O'Houlihan. No, it's Patches, SCP-1424. And it's I believe it was a 3-month-old Malamute. So it's just like this little fuzzy wuzzball. Literally like the cutest dog ever. But it is very deadly.
I'm actually pretty interested because I've heard of this one and I know we've done stuff on this one, but I have no idea what it is.
So it has a few weird properties about it. One, it appears to be blind, deaf, can't smell. Like it basically doesn't have any senses. It like runs into walls and stuff.
It's a tough break.
Yeah. Which almost makes it even cuter, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have a dog that is missing an eye.
It's missing one eye. Yeah.
So this one resonates. It hits real close to home.
It's hard. No. And then so besides like basically losing all of its senses, it doesn't feel any pain. So they performed surgeries on it. They cut open its stomach one time to see what it had eaten. And the dog,
is that how they tested to see if it feels pain or not?
And the dog, no, I mean, they knew that beforehand.
I'm just saying that seems really SCP Foundation.
They're like, let's just do surgery and see if it feels pain.
And we'll see some of that in the ones I'm going to read too.
Yeah.
There is just like, it's like, oh yeah, who thought of this clever idea? It must have been like a Dr. Clef idea to want to torture these cute SCPs and see what happens.
But it doesn't feel pain, nor does it heal from any injury. So if you hurt it or inflict pain or damage onto it, it'll never heal.
So what does it look like now?
So it's got like they surgically stapled back up his stomach and he doesn't feel pain or anything, but like,
so he's like a Frankenweenie.
It's never gonna like heal. No.
Yeah.
But the deadliest part about him is that he emits like extreme amounts of ammonia from his paws and his tongue and his mouth. So much so that it's deadly to those that touch it.
Okay.
So he's this cute, cuddly.
So you can't touch him though.
Right. I mean, I think
so not cuddly.
I mean, he is cuddly.
Or you can cuddle him once.
Yeah. Cuddle him one time. It's best cuddle
It'll
your
be
life.
your last cuddle.
I'm pretty sure you can touch him like as long as you're not touching the pads of his paws or his mouth or his tongue. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
But
see, you're going off memory, but I have all these notes here. So
right.
So everyone go easy on K.
It's up here.
Yep. Yeah, I have a pea brain, so I need to write down everything, or I'm just gonna forget.
Mm-hmm.
So since you brought up a dog SCP, I guess I'll counter with my dog SCP.
Okay.
Which is SCP-023 Black Shuck, which is a pretty popular SCP. He's this large, shaggy black canine. Fun note, sexless. Don't know what that has to do with the article, but they decided to mention that.
Yeah.
But
it's androgynous.
The whole concept of this one is when someone makes eye contact with it, you, the person who made eye contact, or a member of your immediate family is going to die exactly 1 year from when you made eye contact.
That makes it immediately less cuter than Patches because you can't say good boy or good girl. It's just.
Well, I mean, most of the victims, I'm assuming, aren't aware of what this dog is. So, yeah, I'm sure this dog could take out an entire family. You know, if it's a dog that, I mean, imagine that. Like you have a Christmas party and you just adopted this dog, then your entire family and your immediate and cousins and second cousins, and they're all just going to end up dying.
But it kills you or a loved one, right? It doesn't kill...
Well, anyone who makes eye contact with it, it kills that person.
And a loved one?
Or a loved one.
Or a loved one.
Yeah.
So you could look at it all you want and potentially not ever die. Just everyone you love dies.
Only you would think of it that way, really. So I guess an interesting part is the autopsies of these people who die because of Black Shuck. Their bodies are filled with ash upon autopsies.
Okay.
And then I guess the new development, there was like an addendum, I think, that said it passed through a cell wall. That's actually the term it used, is passed through a cell wall. So I'm assuming it's like a ghost dog or something. Like it was able to just morph through the wall. And then the last thing about it is it also made reference in the article to SCP-1111. That one, which is this dog that guards
another dog.
I think you've heard of this one. You guys can't see it because there's a board. You'll see it in another episode when we have other camera angles, but we have it up on the board there. It's like the hanging man from the tree. So this is the dog that guards the hanging man. And if anyone comes close to it or close to the hanging man, it like comes to its defense, and it can run up to like 60 kilometers per hour, and it'll just tear shit up.
Mean dog.
Yeah, but he's a loyal dog. That's the idea. He even has his little jingle. His dog tag says loyal. So he's a good boy, I guess.
Maybe that's his name.
Yeah, no, they didn't disclose that. Maybe that is his name. Actually, that is what that would mean. That's all I got for dogs. Black Shuck, I think, takes the cake for dangerous dog SCPs, though. So
it's pretty deadly.
I mean,
like
you're always going to make eye
die.
contact with a dog.
Yeah,
you know?
Guaranteed you or a loved one will die. So
with yours, you just have to be overly cautious.
Right. Those are some pretty sweet mugs there, Corey. Where would I buy a mug like that?
These are actually called the Tickle Monster mugs. They're available at newscapepro.com. We don't have a sponsor for this video, so we're going to sponsor ourselves this video. Make sure that you go check out newscapepro.com for sweet deals on SCP merchandise.
And speaking of the Tickle Monster, what perfect segue.
Well, actually, I was sort of unsure about 999 for this.
Well, that's true. He's not really deadly.
Yeah. I was under the impression he was deadly. If we were to consider being so unproductive, you don't do anything, is deadly. Right. Like if you're just caught in the trance of this euphoria with the Tickle Monster, then could you just die from not going anywhere or doing anything, being so addicted to that euphoric feeling, like a drug?
Possibly. Or you could go the other direction, because he
cures depression, essentially.
Well, I was going to say that the 10% of people have the opposite reaction.
I thought you were about to be like the 10% off the Tickle Monster, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah.
No, because 10% of people have the opposite reaction to Tickle Monster.
What, like
where they get sick?
Oh, really? I didn't read that part. I just looked at the article again. I didn't see that. This is definitely the most infamous cute SCP. Like everyone knows this one. If anyone watching somehow doesn't know what the Tickle Monster is, I'll just give you a brief rundown. He's SCP-999, a glob of orange slime that's
looks like this.
One of the only. Yeah, he looks sort of like that. He's one of the only SCPs that's given free reign to just roam around the facility.
Yeah, not many.
Playful and dog-like, so I guess he kind of fits into the dogs we've talked about so far. Yeah, he causes euphoria when you touch him, and the longer you're around him, it exponentially increases that euphoria. So you're gonna get more and more euphoric.
It's like being on X.
What? Except the come down.
Yeah.
There's no come down with the Tickle Monster.
Right.
Or is there? I wish they would just like maybe elaborate a little bit on it.
Right.
And say, yeah, people have withdrawals. Like if they dug more into the drug withdrawal of
you would think they would.
Yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they added an addendum to the
Now, since he's a little goo ball, do you think he leaves like a snail trail everywhere, like a slime trail? Because that's less cute.
I think that part. Well, that would definitely take away from the cuteness. That would, but I mean,
I'd be really annoyed.
Yeah. Well, SCP has a great janitorial service. I heard.
Right. It's just
have you seen that
job to just follow him? And
I want to credit the guy, but I can't remember who it was. But there's this artist who did like a Lego animation of it's called like The Janitor. If you guys look it up, it's called The Janitor, and
props to that guy.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. And I thought it was really interesting, the concept that even the janitorial service at the foundation is well trained to deal with like anomalous
It makes sense.
things, like completely just unfazed by the fact that there's this body coming back to life or something.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like they'd have to be prepared for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if it falls into the whole clearance level thing, because I think janitors are clearance level 1 or 2 or something like that. But anyway, I digress. We can't go down this path or we're going to completely fall off topic, which is Cupid Deadly. I have a few more here. We're going to leave the canine realm, but we can talk about some child SCPs or SCPs related to children that are cute, such as Builder Bear, Childbreaker, and I even have Young Girl here.
Okay.
So some of you who know of these might get excited because these are some cool ones. And if you don't know about them, well, buckle up. This is
buckle up.
This is some cool stuff here. I think Childbreaker might be one of my favorite ones. It's pretty gruesome. Actually, most of these are pretty gruesome.
Very cute.
And very cute. Yeah. The pinata is adorable. If you look up SCP-956, that's the Childbreaker, and it's this pinata that appears ordinary, but it's actually, I didn't notice this until I did a reread earlier, but it's made of fur, human tissue, glue, and whatever redacted is. So it's made up of that too.
More fur.
Yeah, more fur. It says more fur. We got to blotch that out. People can't know about this. It's unaffected by bludgeoning damage of any caliber. So you name it.
What about maces?
Doesn't work.
Clubs.
Doesn't work. Guns.
Hammers?
Bullets don't work. Flames, fire. It's pretty resistant to just about anything. Right. It remains a normal pinata, passive normally, but when met with a human 12 years or younger, it enters an active state. You want to know what the active state is? You know what it is, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but you say it better.
Well, anyway, so when this child who's 12 years or younger comes within a certain proximity of the pinata, they'll be frozen. Their eyes can move, but they can't move their body.
Right.
So the pinata then comes closer and gives some sweet karma to that child and bludgeons them to death until their torso ruptures and all sorts of candy comes out of them. So,
what's your favorite kind of candy?
Now is this the time? Probably Reese's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can get behind that.
You could get behind this thing bludgeoning a child as long as Reese's come out of it.
Right. Well, I'm not 12-year-old, so I don't have to worry.
We're safe. Finally, an SCP that only kills kids.
Yeah.
So, by the way, this is another thing. So children saved before the bludgeoning will still die, though. So, like, let's say they're frozen, and then a Foundation personnel is like, "Oh, let's get them out of there." So they'll take them away, but then they still are frozen. They can't unfreeze. They'll just stay like that until inevitably they die naturally. And then the weird thing that happens is with a certain instance, the insides of the child will start growing more of 956 instances or something like that. Like they'll grow.
They're more
their body will just, I couldn't tell if it was their body turns into a pinata or if pinatas literally grow out of them.
Yeah. It's like a little alien.
Like Alien or something. Yeah. I'm not sure, but it's just a little whipped cream and cherry on top of that disturbing SCP.
Now, what happens if you're an adult, but you have childlike imagination and wonder? Okay,
I told you it's not going to affect you. You're going to be just fine. Don't worry. But I think this SCP falls into so many categories of just sweet karma, irony type stuff. I mean, when we're talking about a piñata and kids breaking a piñata, it's not like, you know what, that's messed up. They deserve to get theirs. But like, it's just reversing the role and making it this kind of ironic situation.
You know, with some of these SCPs that have like specific numbers and stuff attached to them, I always wonder if like, you know, it says 12 years or younger, right? Does that mean if you're exactly 12 years old and one day, you're fine? Or does it just mean like until 13?
You got to stop asking these questions because I never come with an answer for them, but you just ask me.
No, they're
anyway.
more rhetorical because we don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, is it the SCP? Do they know like the minute that you turn 12? Or is it just something where it's like,
yeah, these are 12.
They just have a feeling they're just like, yeah, this guy's 12.
I don't think many people are wondering that, so they didn't add it into the article. We're moving on to the next one. This one, there's a lot of information to cover, so I did my best to sort of condense it. But SCP-1048 Builder Bear. I knew the gist of this one, but I didn't know how deep
the rabbit hole goes.
The rabbit hole. We keep talking about it. The rabbit hole, it goes deep. This is some Alice in Wonderland shit right here.
Yeah.
So this is a small teddy bear, and it can communicate with gestures. It's affectionate. Like it'll hug your leg, or it'll like wave. It'll be like, look, I drew you a picture. It's us holding hands in a flower field or something. So it's cute, but the plot twist is it's only cute as a ruse.
Right.
Right. So
there's 3 versions of them.
We'll get there.
Sorry.
Yeah. So the whole idea behind this thing is that it constructs crude replicas of itself. And it uses its cuddly appearance sort of to lull people into a false sense of security.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's like, hey, look at us. Like, I love you. You're great. Like, you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you turn your back to it and it's like, I got to collect all the ears in this room. I don't know how it actually works with the ears, but it based on the article, it did say that 1048 is really nice. Like it's sort of like in Gremlins. It's the initial gizmo.
Right.
And then all of its crude replicas it makes are essentially I said essentially. We were talking about this earlier. I say essentially too much. You feel free to call me out. It creates these replicas of itself. And they're the bad, don't feed the gremlins at midnight gremlins.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know why the original created one out of ears or where it got the ears. Did it kill people and take their ears?
A lot of ears. You know?
Or did it steal ears from people that were already dead? I mean,
and they're specifically human ears.
No harm, no foul. I don't know. These are the questions that keep me up at night. Regardless, there are 3 replicas known currently of SCP-1048 Builder Bear. One is 1048A. It's made entirely of human ears. This is probably the most popular one. So when you look up like fan art and stuff like that, this is the one you'll see. The story goes, when it was discovered, 1048 was giving it a little tour around the facility.
Mm.
It was like, yeah, here's my favorite place to go get coffee, and here's the break room with the endless pizza.
Right.
And then it was discovered by some personnel, and they tried containing it. And upon this, it freaked out, and it emitted this high-pitched scream, which I'm not going to replicate.
Right.
And I thought, oh, that sounds annoying. But it caused physical pain to ears and eyes of everyone around. But beyond that, anyone in the radius of the scream began growing ears all over their body until they died from asphyxiation.
Gross.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess they grew ears in their lungs and like their throat, and then they just died or something. Pretty gruesome way to go. Top 10.
Top 10 pretty gross.
Wouldn't want to die like that. Type this.
I'll tell you what's cool about Builder Bear A, though, is that any piercing it gets, it's an earring. So it's socially acceptable.
Why do you do things like this? That is true. Can't argue with facts. Let's go to SCP-1048-B, though. This is slightly different from A, and I'd argue more disturbing.
More disturbing.
What could be more disturbing than
ears?
Than an ear bear? I feel like whoever wrote this had a serious problem with Build-A-Bear Workshop or something.
Maybe.
I feel like when that store became a thing, they said, "Oh, I have something to say about that."
They probably worked at it.
That's a good point. Think about the people who write these SCP. I feel like some of the writers behind these had some psychological trauma and they're trying to get it out.
Right.
They're like, oh, I hate piñatas so much.
Yeah, probably like IKEA was probably written by like someone who worked at IKEA and was just.
Yeah, someone put like healthy snacks inside the piñata at their birthday party and they said, I hate piñatas. I'm going to lose my shit. Like they wrote 956. So 1048B. Similar looking to the original, but walks in a strange, jerky manner. So I'm imagining sort of just like walking around, arms flailing, falling over like a drunken man. Upon further observation, though, an infant arm and hand poking out, grasping for air is coming out of this thing. So it looks like there's an infant trapped inside of this bear that's walking around. So it's like half morphed into this.
Got it.
So upon retrieving it, I think it killed some people or something. I can't remember that part. But the shocking part is after containing it, they found the woman who was given an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, Build-A-Bear stole her baby and made a bear with the aborted
baby fetus.
So, thoughts?
Pretty messed up.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, I would agree with you that that's worse than.
But dude, you're pretty metal, so I'm trying to drop one on you that actually is shocking. But
I mean, Infant Annihilator would write a song about that for sure.
I saw several comments in the last podcast of people being like, "Hey, dude, don't knock Infant Annihilator." I want everyone to know we aren't knocking Infant Annihilator.
I love Infant Annihilator.
Kay loves Infant Annihilator, and I've listened.
Yeah, Soil the Stillborn.
Yeah, that song. It's like modern day Mozart.
Yeah.
SCP 1048C. Replica made of rusted metal scraps. So this is a bear that's just made of metal scraps. This one was kind of like a throwaway one, I think, at the end.
It's not nearly as messed up.
So it's said that Dr. Carver, who's the main guy who's been blessed to work with Build-A-Bear through all this, he was there.
What an honor.
Right. Or she. I don't know.
That's true.
Whether Dr. Carver is a he or she. But I just imagine this guy or this girl, woman, sitting there behind their desk, and then they're just reading a file, and then they just put it down because they hear something, and there's just a rusty bear standing there, and they're like, "Oh, God damn it, not again."
Right.
Here we go. And then, so this is pretty much the whole file. So finds it in his office, and then 1048C goes running and kills a few people on its way, and they never found it. I don't know how it killed them. I'm assuming it just jumped around like Yoda.
Well, I mean, if he's like a rusty bear, like he probably has sharp.
Yeah. So, but
edges.
what I like to imagine is this little bear jumping around like Yoda in a Jedi fight.
Right.
And he's just slashing people's throats as he runs through the hallway. Just like, and that's how I read that part. And that's the last one. It's sort of brief. Probably should have been the first one because the other two are actually a lot more shocking if you want to build up in the story, right? That's in my own opinion. But I think Build-A-Bear is probably the best example of a cute but deadly SCP. This is the epitome of cute but deadly.
But are any of its forms actually cute?
Yeah, the original.
The original. That's
right,
true.
So that,
right.
And,
the other ones are the replica.
And deadly because it creates an army of murderers.
That's true. Pretty good one.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get much better than that for cute but deadly. But.
Well, I got one called the polymorphic humanoid. It is SCP. I got my notes in the back of my coffee. It is SCP-953.
You're like a kid cheating at a test.
Yeah, I know. It's right here. It's SCP-953.
Do you actually know that, or are you actually thirsty?
Yeah. I swear the coffee tastes better in these mugs, Cory.
I'm euphoric when I drink this coffee.
SCP-953, polymorphic humanoid. Her base form is a fox, like a red-tailed fox, But
Nine-tailed fox?
she has way more than 9 tails. I think it's like 26.
Dude, one up Naruto.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very cool.
But she can shapeshift. But you can always tell it's her because even though she can shapeshift into pretty much anything, she always has like fox-like characteristics. So she always has fox tails and fox ears. But not only is she a shapeshifter, and that's kind of dangerous in of itself because she can transform into all these sort of dangerous
dragon.
Sure, pretty much anything.
3-headed dragon.
I might say 4-headed dragon.
Get out of town. Get out of here.
Get out of here. But yeah, no, she can shapeshift into all these horrible, deadly things. But she also has psionic abilities, so she can control people's minds.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's really
master the art of manipulation.
Right. So not only can she shapeshift,
being Gesserit.
Yeah. So in her,
I like the joke. That's a Dune reference.
in her containment, they can't even like get close to her to feed her and stuff. They have to send in like robot drones to feed her because they have to stay. I think it's like 100 feet or 100 meters away. But she's super dangerous. Although, because she's a fox, she's deadly afraid of dogs. So they have like a secondary. There's like the base containment, and then there's like a secondary containment where they basically make like a wall of dogs and kennels.
This just seems absurd.
They do it.
I don't understand. Like,
preferably foxhounds.
I think SCP, the Foundation, gets a little too tough of a reputation because it's just like, if it was my choice, I might just go full blown chaos insurgency and say wipe the planet of these things.
Now
it's too difficult. It's too much money. Our tax dollars are going into this.
Yeah, they are.
Where's the funding coming from?
I saw someone say that it's not like the
it's
US.
Jeff Bezos. Like that's actually what he's spending his money on is the SCP Foundation.
I heard that it was like a global, like it's all being put in from around the world. It's not just like one government.
Well, if China's backing it, that's a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you say chaos insurgency because there's another one that's a pretty simple one, but she actually worked with chaos insurgency.
Lucy the kitten.
Lucy the kitten.
Dude, I know.
Yeah, you know all about these.
But let's just
for the sake of the audience,
for the viewers, for those that don't know,
it's 1316. I always have to look at the number because I can never remember the
Never
numbers.
forget 1316.
Never forget. But Lucy the kitten pretty much is a normal kitten. The only thing that's sort of weird about her is that she never grows up, even though she's been inside the Foundation for decades.
I thought the weird part was that she was a sleeper agent.
Well, that also is weird, but they didn't know that like at all.
Yeah.
They only just thought she was she looks like a 3-month-old kitten,
but the plot thickens.
Right. Yeah. So there was an attack, a raid by the Chaos Insurgency on the site that she was located at. And it was found out that she was basically plotting with Chaos Insurgency. So not only is she just like this immortal cat, but she's clearly hyper intelligent and was working with them.
Why though? You think she would have, I don't know, maybe had this connection with those that fed her, took care of her for all these years, but
you never know, who's slipping her catnip. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
Getting right into her pockets.
Yep. I don't know. You're the cat person. I don't know the cat. I don't even have a joke to tell because I know that little about cats.
It definitely makes sense that like if they wrote it where a dog was a sleeper agent, be like, get out of here. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're too loyal. But a cat being a sleeper agent, I could see that.
It makes sense. Those little felines.
Yeah. She's a simple one, but she is cute as crap, that kitten. Lucy.
My favorite part of that one is the ending to the story where she's like, what'd she say? It's something like operation successful, requesting extraction. And then extraction, where's the extraction? And then the last line is, there was no extraction, was there?
Yeah, they used
So
her.
they just bamboozled Lucy the kitten, and just left her there. Left her for dead.
Yeah. Well, now I wonder if
Can't help but feel bad for her.
I wonder if she's going to get revenge on KS Insurgency.
I think we need a sequel to Lucy the kitten.
Right.
We need a full-blown anime. Lucy the kitten's good. There's a lot of cat SCPs. I didn't write one specifically for this. I can't even tell you the number off the top of my head, but Harmless Cat.
Yeah.
That one, correct me if I'm wrong, and sorry if I butcher this one. But Harmless Cat is essentially a cat that is actually a tiger. But it looks like just a house cat.
It's a Bengal tiger.
Yeah, and it has the fur pattern of a tiger. So, but I don't know how it's deadly. Does it turn into a tiger?
No. It just straight up is a tiger. So,
but it looks like it's not a tiger,
right? So it's supernatural.
But does it murder like a tiger?
Yes. Yeah.
Humans.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. That makes sense.
So its supernatural element is that there's two parts to it. There's one that's like I remember it specified that it tricks you in two different ways. There's one that it's like this aura that it emits that creates this illusion in your mind. But then there's also some kind of like physical illusion that it's putting on as well. So it's not just that like it actually looks like a cat. And even if for whatever reason you saw a glimpse of its real self, it alters your mind state. So you think it looks like a cat. And it makes it so that even if you've already had interactions with it, like even if one person walked up and you saw it get killed, you don't have.
He's like, no, it's a cat.
Yeah, it reduces your fear and your inhibitions and stuff.
You're like, look at this idiot, dumb enough to get killed by a normal cat.
Yeah, you're just like, well, I guess I'll cuddle it.
Well, I guess that works out fine for the dog people, though.
Right.
They're like, I hate that thing anyway.
Yeah, but that one's a good one because
there's also the half cat, Josie.
Josie the half cat.
Yeah,
although she's not deadly.
She's just her other half. Her butt end is in an alternate universe, I guess, is the entire story to that one, right?
Right. So, you in the universe that is mentioned in the article, you see the front half of the cat, and it looks and behaves exactly like a normal cat. It's just the back half is invisible because this cat.
So tell me, and I didn't read the article. Do they try feeding her something to communicate through the butt end of the because that would be funny if they added that, like where they feed her a note in a tube and it comes out the butt end in the other universe. And
right.
I don't know how they would respond though. They'd have to do
just shove it right
through.
Just right back Make it vomit.
You know what? Forget we said anything.
Yeah. This ain't working. No, I'm pretty sure it says in the article that they don't know, like they haven't been able to contact the other half.
Well, maybe if they tried harder.
But Josie's not deadly. She's actually safe.
Yeah,
SCP.
true. And I have a few on here I just wrote down because we're talking about cute but deadly, but we're probably not going to, I don't know, we might, but I wasn't imagining that we do like a just cute episode. So I thought maybe we could talk about cute but deadly SCPs as well as briefly touch on some cute ones that are just not deadly at all.
Sure.
But for now, let's continue the cute but deadly. We're missing a big one here, which is SCP-053, the young girl.
Yes.
That one's a fan favorite. People love that one.
And she's extremely deadly.
She is deadly. 3-year-old girl, pleasant personality, smart.
Smarter
those are the footnotes, except for the important part, which is if anyone over the age of 3 years old looks at her, they instantly become homicidal.
10 minutes.
Is it 10 minutes?
It's 10 minutes.
Oh,
wait, no, sorry. So if you look at her directly with your eyes, then yes, it's instant. Or if you touch her.
Okay. Maybe what it was the urge to kill her happens after 10 minutes, but upon making eye contact, you immediately become paranoid, irrational, and homicidal.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I was forgetting because spoiler alert, we're doing a young girl animation for tomorrow. But
yeah, but when this comes out, no, it is tomorrow when this comes out.
Right.
Dude, you're like smart. Forget I said anything.
But
yeah, young girl animation comes out tomorrow. If you guys want more sneak peeks, be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, there's other
and if you follow the Patreon, if you join the Patreon, we do we post sneak peek illustrations, and you even get like merch discounts and
there's another SCP that plays a prominent role in it. It's not just the young girl.
I like how you guys are doing it, where it's bringing in other SCPs that we wouldn't really do a dedicated episode on, like the Dimension Hopper being in the last one,
right?
And on London,
we probably wouldn't. I mean, hey, if you guys want to see a reluctant Dimension Hopper video, like, let us know. But
there's just too many bigger ones that we want to make sure we tackle. Obviously, we want to please the most amount of people with these videos. So we're going to have to hit some of the popular ones, but we'd love to work in Easter eggs and little things because, I mean, there's just so much interesting material in the SCP universe.
Yeah. And one day we will do the Bananazilla episode.
No, we won't. But like, well, okay, maybe we will. So let's see.
But
yeah, so they'll attempt to kill her. I thought that before they can touch her, they die. But apparently, once they inflict damage to her, punch her, slap her, spit in her eye, whatever.
It's when they try to harm her.
Yeah. But once they do, they have a heart attack or a seizure, and that's how they die.
Right.
So, yeah. And more importantly than that, let's say there's a wall of humans between them and her. They'll either try to get them to go away or just straight up kill them.
Right.
So by the young girl, she can incidentally kill more than one or harm more than one person by just being in a room.
Right. What's I think extra scary about the young girl, like even though she's this cute girl and really everything she does, like it's hard to blame her for it. But the Foundation has never understood whether or not it's just completely involuntary or if she's actively trying to do the killings. So,
okay.
So, because they can't get a straight answer from her, if they question her about the deaths, she pretty much just like ignores you. Just forget, like she won't even comment.
So she might be hostile and we don't even know.
Right. I
think the main consensus is that she's not, but I like the idea that maybe
because her whole backstory essentially is that her father growing up was always mean and paranoid and irrational towards her.
Yeah.
And the mom always stopped him.
Mm-hmm.
But one day the father killed the mother and then tried to kill the young girl.
Is this actual canon or is this just someone's backstory?
Yeah. This is
an addendum or like, is this
this is widely considered.
Is this a tale?
Yeah. It's in some tales.
Okay. I just don't remember.
This is from my understanding, this is pretty widely accepted to be her backstory. Although obviously there's a million canons, so it can be whatever. But the idea is that the father tried to hurt her and killed the mother, tried to hurt her. And then that's when she protected herself and the father died. But some researchers think, she's purposely killing these people, but she's doing it in self-defense. Mm-hmm. And then there's other people.
But mentally she's
just like, kill this guy.
Okay, gotcha.
But then there's other people that just think it's like complete. She has absolutely no control over it, and it's just 100%, just reactionary. Like it's just her body chemistry.
Yeah.
But what I think is interesting is like if she is actually doing it on purpose, and then she's not actually just getting instant amnesia. She's just not talking about it. That makes her straight up psychopath.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where, if she's actually murdering these people and then just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Like that makes her a lot scarier to me. But kind of just depends on the way
I like the SCPs that they leave open-ended.
Right.
Like, this one's not a deadly one, but SCP-1192, Timmy.
Yeah.
Which is the cockatoo.
That was a sad one.
Yeah. But it is left open-ended, because basically Timmy is this bird which is sapient and has the knowledge of a human child. I think it was 7 years old or something, or maybe even 12 years old. It can't fly, but it isn't injured. And I believe how it came into custody of the Foundation is it was found flying around in New Jersey, and it was acting really strange, and it was going to a police officer looking for help.
Right.
And this police officer called, I don't know, I guess somehow through the chain of events, the Foundation got wind of this, and then they came and took the bird into, their custody. So Timmy, through drawing and writing, I guess, has revealed that he is from Montana and said what his family's name is and where they live. So the Foundation looked into it and they found the family, but plot twist, they have a son named Timmy living with them who's currently there, residing in the house.
Or is it
an Anderson Robotics clone made of Timmy? We don't know. That could be a thing. Could it be an actual clone of Timmy from the cloning tree? There's so many opportunities here to elaborate on the story.
Or
and I guess this is the
clone?
stuff. True. But this is the stuff that could funnel into a tale, and leaving things open-ended like this gives a lot of domain to the imagination.
Right. I mean, I think that story kind of implies that the parrot is the real,
and he's
Timmy,
been replaced.
And he's been replaced
by something, but we don't even know, because that seems like something the Foundation would do.
Right.
But in this document, they don't know what's going on.
Right.
So who cloned this child and turned him into a bird?
Right.
And we don't get any. I'm all for open-ended, books and articles and things that leave you wondering something at the end. Leave it to the imagination. And this does it too. But man, is there something to be desired here where it's like, I want to know what happened.
Right. But maybe Timmy in Montana is the actual Timmy, and they just implanted memories of this kid into a bird or something.
I'd love to see a tale or something that elaborates on this whole thing. Because I don't know. That's definitely one. I thought it said Euclid when I looked, and I'm like, I don't understand how this thing's deadly whatsoever. It can't even fly.
Well, yeah. I mean, Euclid refers to how difficult it is to contain.
But it can't even fly.
I don't know. I don't know why it'd be Euclid then.
I need to double check.
It's an early one, right? It was
1192. So
1192. So they gave higher classes earlier on usually.
Right.
So
yeah, but that is a good point to remember that safe Euclid Keter is just referencing the difficulty to contain, not the actual deadliness of it. If it's perfectly easy to contain, then it could be safe, even if it could kill, right? I mean,
yeah, if it's probably wouldn't be safe, but I'm sure
something deadly is not as easy as it sounds to contain.
I mean, 096 is Euclid. Right?
People don't usually,
pretty sure it's Euclid.
Is it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Pretty sure it's Euclid. Could be wrong, but
definitely wrong. There's no way it's Euclid. It's impossible to contain because of that photograph where it was like a pixel in the background. That was the whole idea. I'm pulling on my phone. Hold on.
Yeah, look it up.
But that thing is just I'm
pretty sure it's Euclid.
Famously difficult to contain. It's Euclid. Damn. I don't understand how it's Euclid. Okay, well that's fine.
Because you can, if people aren't looking at it and taking photographs of it, it's not wandering around, you can contain it.
Yeah, but the issue was the biggest containment breach with 096, I guess, was because of that photograph where he was just a pixel in the background and someone looked at it. And then he escaped because there's no containing him once someone sees him.
Right. And he just makes a path of destruction.
Just beelines for it and can get through anything, I guess.
Right.
Anyway, he's not what we're talking about today. We can talk about him in the more deadly episode later.
Yeah, he's adorable.
Oh, he's a shy guy. He's a little shy guy.
Oh, yeah. Just want to give him a big old snuggle.
The last ones I had, I don't even know what the last one is, actually. I can look it up. But I just wrote down some cute ones that aren't actually deadly.
Okay.
I'll have to do further research into 1545, Larry the Loving Llama. And remember if it was deadly or if it was just hilarious.
I don't think he's super deadly.
So he's not deadly. What I got from it is Larry the Loving Llama is a persona. So if you take the Larry the Loving Llama suit and you put 2 D class, one is the butt end and one is the front end in the suit, because it's a 2-person suit, they suddenly become and encompass who is Larry the Loving Llama.
Right. They cease becoming humans, and they're just...
Which is like a whimsical character that they become. So it honestly feels more like a JSCP.
Yeah, there's some that kind of are on that line.
Yeah. Well, I guess
some almost like
a lot of JSCPs are submitted as just SCPs, and then mods or people will say, no, dude, it's the J. Like you can't do that. I guess the main thing that determines whether it's a J or not is whether it totally breaks the canon. And I know there are multiple canons, but if it just destroys the canon, like they tend to look down on that, I guess.
Okay.
Or not down on it, but they're like, you got to put it as a J. It can't be like within the actual universe.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit too of like the SCP itself can be goofy as long as it's not poking fun at the Foundation, or it's not like meta. Whenever
meta stuff can be dangerous.
Right.
Like I mean, what about the anti-meme? Like that one could easily be.
Yeah.
Was that 055?
05.
By the way, guys, we're going to start linking stuff so you can do your research as well if you want to follow along, if you aren't sure what we're talking about at any point.
It's a lot of links, but we're going to do it for you.
Yeah, Joe's going to do it for
the
you.
Fan. Yeah, we're going to make this guy do it.
And then I had the iPods 131.
Yeah, they're just cute.
iPods are just cute, not deadly. They've been proposed, I think, by us and others. I'm not sure if this is actually on the website or in a tale or something, as like a solution to 173.
Absolutely. Just pop them in the room.
Just have them make eye contact indefinitely.
So if you don't know,
because they don't blink.
Yeah. If you don't know what the iPods are, they're basically just little goo balls, essentially. But they have big eyeballs on them and they never blink.
Mm-hmm. And they slide around and crash into things. They're like slapstick.
Right.
Type of SCP.
But you just put those guys in there and have them just look at 173 and they never blink and you'd be good to go.
Yeah, easy containment.
Although maybe the reason
double containment, 2 for 1.
Maybe they don't do it because like even though they never blink, they're not focused on it. Like it might be impossible to be like, hey, you look at that thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it would work.
They might just be like,
Would 173 try to kill the iPods, or does 173 only kill humans?
I don't know.
These things keep me up at night.
I'm sure someone in the comment section would know. I got one that's cute and deadly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's deadly.
It's right back here. The flamingo.
Oh, that's true.
Pink flamingos.
I don't know if lawn flamingos are what I would call cute, so this is going to be a lower on my docket.
They're not super cute and they're not super deadly, but I think they're a little cute and I think they're a little deadly. Well, they're definitely deadly.
They're definitely deadly.
They're definitely deadly. At one point, they were safe.
And they were wrong.
Yeah, they were very wrong.
Foundation's wrong a lot about presuming things safe, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the reason they shouldn't have made them safe, because the reason they even found about them is because the Florida man or the Florida woman called and said they're Florida woman in this case called the authorities and said that the husband was attacked by lawn flamingos.
What would happen in Florida? Yeah. I think the best part of this SCP is that it's just a big joke on Florida man. Like on the news in Florida, how absolutely absurd some of the things reported on are.
Yeah, SCP. It's SCP-1507. So a pretty early one, honestly. But yeah, it doesn't, for long stretches of time, it'll be fine, and they don't know exactly what the trigger is. I've heard some people kind of say that the trigger is if you show any sort of aggression towards the flamingos, that then they get this like herd mentality and then they attack back.
Which is weird that there would be any instances then.
Right. But
why is someone attacking lawn flamingos?
If you irk those flamingos,
they're done.
They're coming after you, man.
Yeah, they're not taking it from anyone.
They don't eat. They're lawn flamingos. They don't need to eat.
They need to sleep.
They don't need to sleep.
And they can't bleed.
Yeah. The newest entry on that, the newest addendum, is
Do they add those over time, or are those?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, some are just,
I know some they add over time, but it's like, do people sometimes write in the addendum before they?
Yeah, I think they do.
This is just a big creative writing project.
But the addendum, the last addendum on the page is that some people theorize that their creation has to do with SCP-243.
Which one's that?
It's a pair of batteries that make things like gives things.
Is that like a Wondertainment
properties.
thing?
It probably is, or it might be. I don't know. I didn't look too much into 243, but I know it's like a set of batteries that gives things unnatural properties. And so they might think, but I don't know why that would make sense, because why are you putting batteries in lawn flamingos? Yeah.
Right.
But that was on the wiki. So
I have one more. Not deadly though. Guess it could be if it wanted to be. Actually, it might be. I'm sort of mid reading it. SCP-4966. So this is a later entry, but one of the best titles names I've ever seen in my life. Tabioka, Devourer of Souls, Consumer of Secrets, Lord of Munchies. That's the name of the article. So 4966.
A little short.
It's this cute little. Yeah, this is what it looks like. This cute little stuffed animal. So the idea behind this one is that.
See, how's that one an actual SCP and not a J though? Like,
we'll wait until you hear what it is.
That's true.
Yeah. So basically, it has no internal structures. It's just a stuffed animal, but it can't be pierced or broken through. And it, when presented with a corpse of an organism, it will essentially act like a snake and eat the whole thing. And it'll just expand based on how large what they're eating is. So if they put a dead elephant in a room, it'll somehow expand. It defies the laws of physics and just expands and consumes the entire thing. So deadly? Not really, because it's a corpse. I don't think it eats things that are alive. So I don't think it falls into the deadly realm. But it's cute, but secretly strange and creepy.
Would it eat like zombies, like the Living Dead?
You're coming in here again with these questions that no one ever asked or thought to have an answer to.
I'm just saying it might be the best.
Damn it, if they aren't good questions.
You know, like if the zombie apocalypse 006, 008.
Okay, wait. So it won't expand. So it could eat an elephant, but it'll remain the same density throughout the process.
So it does expand to eat the elephant, but it doesn't get
bigger. I think
density would mean like the weight. Right.
Yeah. So I'm assuming though, like, let's say it eats something, whatever, as it enters its mouth, it just almost disappears. Like it goes into another dimension or something.
Okay. It's like the Harry Potter bag.
No, wait. Once a corpse is fully enveloped, SCP-4966's body will slowly return to its normal size.
Okay. So it does.
Yeah. Because I kind of like that, where it could get as big as it wants to.
I think that density refers to like the weight of it. So even though it's consuming this giant thing, it's not getting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Correct this. People are experts on physics or just have a general understanding of physics, because apparently we don't.
There's a lot more to this one that I'm not mentioning. So I don't know. I think we should leave this one to the viewers to do their research on. If you guys want to find out more about 4966,
we're going to link it in the description below.
Yeah. So you can check it out there. I'm not about to, by the way, read an SCP on the podcast.
Saying link is in the description below is like the hardest sentence to say in the world. And working.
Oh yeah. Especially when I was first starting out saying these things. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I used to like pull my hair out. I was so angry when I would try voicing these things. Video. Link is in the description below. Like I just could not say it.
Yeah. Link is in the description below.
Yeah, it can get kind of annoying. That's all I got for Cute but Deadly. If you guys, okay, never mind.
Got one more.
Yep, we're still here.
One more,
and we're live.
It's not. We've never proven that it could be deadly, even though I think it could be. But where the dragons went, I thought was too good of an SCP not to mention in this one. Because one,
it's sad.
One, it's super sad. One of the best stories on the wiki.
I would agree with that. I think top 5 for me. Like it's one of the best.
It's just so well written.
You said the person who wrote that also wrote Bananazilla.
Yeah.
So if you guys liked Where the Dragons Went, you should read Bananazilla.
Bananazilla. It's great. It's like a goofier kind of.
Yeah.
But it's great. but for those who don't know where the dragons went, it's SCP-1762. Is that right? Yes, 1762. And essentially, it's now it's a cardboard box that's spray painted silver, and occasionally the box will open up and little origami dragons would fly out.
We actually have. You want to grab one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry for anyone who's only listening, because we will be putting these on Spotify. But if you want to check out the video, Bree, my girlfriend, she made these for the set, little origami dragons.
Look at these things.
So there's a lot in the backgrounds of these sets, a lot of SCP Easter eggs we added. So if anyone, feel free to comment and let us know which ones you recognize. But
anyways,
we put some TLC into the set here.
These origami dragons would pop out, and they leave notes for the researchers. The premise is that this cardboard box is a room that's a portal to this realm called fantasy. And in fantasy, there's elves and dwarves and dragons and all these other
fantastical creatures.
Yes. At one point, the room was massive. It was this incredible, gigantic.
It was like a palace, or like
essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even see the top of it. The clouds were there before you could see the top of the room. And the room was so big, and the portal was so big that when things crossed over from fantasy into our world, they were themselves. There were these huge dragons and whatnot. But over time, as humans' belief in fantasy waned, the room got smaller and smaller and smaller, and it became this small cardboard box. And then when people passed through, or the dragons passed through, instead of being these big dragons, they were these little origami dragons. But
it's like a sort of like a death of imagination type thing.
Right.
Like yeah.
Little like Indian in the cupboard kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit like
it easily could be a Pixar or Disney movie or something. They could make that thing.
Absolutely.
That would work. I mean,
but
let's not give them any ideas,
but because it was in the worst possible place imaginable for imagination,
a sterile room in the SCP Foundation.
Yeah. It just continued to die, and dragons kept leaving notes saying, fantasy is dying. Why have you forgotten us? Please, we miss you and stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually they said, this is the last note. We're going to bury our room. And, since then they haven't contacted the dragons. This big smoke came out of the box, and, the box basically, and on the outside where it said, here be dragons. Now it says, here were dragons. So super sad.
Oh yeah, it's heartbreaking.
It's so hard. We did an animation on it. Go check it out.
Oddly enough, that one made like the least views of any animation.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite stories. So.
I wouldn't be surprised if it picked up over time or something, but it's probably one of the best SCPs.
Right. But the reason, obviously little cute, they're all bright colors too.
That's why you care, is because it's cute. It's like that sort of.
But the reason I think you could qualify it as deadly is because they mention in there, the dragons do in their notes, that all the other fantasy creatures were getting angry. The ogres and elves and stuff, they wanted to go to war, and they wanted to go through the portal into the human realm. Now, obviously they probably would have been little origami things, but
dude, that would hurt. He could kill you with 1,000 paper cuts.
But when the room was originally made, and the ogres could come through and whatnot, potentially they could have really messed up humanity.
But they didn't, and they're dead now.
Yeah, they're all gone.
That's a what you call it? An SCP that is no
neutralized.
Neutralized. That's the word.
Yeah, one of the few neutralized ones.
Yeah, there are a few of them.
Yeah.
They're far and few between.
I don't think a lot of people like writing neutralized. Like, a lot of people want
like room to grow.
The biggest and coolest.
Well, that's actually true though. That's something I noticed is there's not a whole lot of beta SCPs.
Right.
Like, it's pretty much all alpha energy across like every SCP.
I get it.
There are things because, no one wants to write like a lackluster article. Like, the ones that are a fan favorite is 096 or 682 or 173. These big These big ones that a lot of younger SCP fans sort of idolize.
It's easier to understand, I think.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at it, you die. It's big and scary, and it can't be killed.
Right.
Like those are like the quality, and there's so many that fall into that. Like there's so many SCPs that are, if you make eye contact with it.
Right.
Like just the ones we mentioned here, young girl, child breakers, and eye contact, but if you come within a certain radius of it.
Right.
I mean, just off the top of my head, I mean, the doorman, that
right.
SCP, you're
yeah,
frozen,
there's a lot.
so you die. Like there's a lot of eye contact. If you're within a certain radius of it, then you're frozen, or you die, or you explode, or candy pops out of your chest.
Well, the that SCP-J article, the thing that kills you, that I sent you the other day.
I love that.
It was super funny, but
that's something that everyone needs to read. It's so funny.
It's really highly rated because it's mocking a lot of articles that they call it, like in the community, they just call it the thing that kills you, because so many people when they're writing SCPs, it's just like,
then it kills
the monster's here and then it kills you. If you look at it, then it kills you. If you're within a 10-foot radius, then it kills you. So yeah, it's not it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
no, I mean, when you think about the amount of SCP articles there are bound to be some that sort of
they're overlapping,
something to be desired. But at the same time, you don't see me writing SCP articles. Like everyone who is on this website, there's a lot of really fantastic writers on here who just, and horror only has such a scope, right? I mean, you can write a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, and then it kills you is sort of the gist of it. Yeah, that's the nature of human fear is I don't want to die.
Yeah, it's hard to make something really scary when there's not the fear of death.
Yeah. All right, we're off topic. Cute but deadly. That's about all we got. If you guys have some cute but deadly SCPs you'd like us to check out, make sure you leave a comment and let us know. And we will be glad to maybe even bring them up in the next episode.
We're cute but deadly.
Yeah, dude, look at that. Look at this beard on this guy.
Yeah, he's cute. I'm deadly.
What? And you're a dick. All right, guys, this wraps up Redacted episode 2. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Like I said, some cute but deadly SCPs or SCPs in general that you want to see us cover in the future episodes. And check out the animation channel, merchandise. We got mugs on newscapepro.com.
It actually will make your coffee taste way better.
You can't say that. That's false advertising. You can't say that. That's illegal.
It won't.
Disclaimer, it won't at all.
Placebo effect will take over and you'll enjoy your coffee more, probably.
I'll accept that. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.